Thanks, Frank. Appreciate it. Lisa LaFlamme, host of the inspiring Carry the Fire podcast, joins us on World Cancer Day to share her insights on the latest breakthroughs in cancer research and treatment, as well as the remarkable stories of resilience and hope. Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa LaFlamme in studio.
Wow.
Lisa LaFlamme.
I got to show up here more often. Man, it's nice to see you both, and it's great to be in the newsroom this morning on such a significant day. I mean, I think the world is now in such a state of flux, but we are going to focus down on something that is so critically important, really, to every Canadian, every person around the world.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, cancer has unfortunately touched us all in some way at this point. This latest campaign from Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation, Carry the Fire. Talk to us about it. Inspiration is not a big enough word.
Well, for me, I mean, it's also very personal. My own father was treated at Princess Margaret Cancer Center many years ago, 15 years ago, and when I was asked to participate in this, to host a podcast, at first I thought, oh, anything I can do really to give back and to help other people understand the way my family had to understand. Walking in those doors, having the opportunity to meet the most spectacular people, survivors, researchers, scientists, nurses, psychiatrists. It has been an extraordinary experience. And I used to record those conversations that I had with my mother with my father's doctors, just so that my sisters could understand. Now I feel like those conversations where everyone is going to be able to hear them and better understand something that is going to affect and does affect so many, 2 out of 5 people.
The Carry the Fire initiative is broad here. Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation also launching a podcast today. Did they find a host for the podcast?
I think they did say.
They found a
I think
host.
the position has been filled.
Yeah, position's been filled.
Yeah.
The position's been filled. So the first episode is live as we speak, I believe. So please give it a listen.
Right.
It's incredible. Lisa, how much power is there in just hearing other people go through what you are going through?
Well, I think it's the solidarity of it, and that's what this is all about. I mean, this podcast is about radical hope. So that is more than wishful thinking. That is more than optimism. That is radical hope based on science and solidarity, because we all go through it. So this first episode was really an amazing moment, because I had the opportunity to sit with Rachel McAdams, you know, blockbuster movie star, and her best friend, Tennille, best friends since their childhood in St. Thomas, Ontario. And then one day, there they are, there's a little photo of the 3 of us. You know, this was like, you know, people who have a family member who have cancer, that's one thing. But when it's your chosen family, which is your friends who are there for you and supporting you, that is a whole different ballgame. And these are really the invisible backbone of the healthcare system. And Rachel is such a get-her-done type of gal that I learned so much, and I think listeners will learn so much on what do you do? You know, instead of showing up at someone's door with 10 casseroles, what do you actually do to help a good friend or family member who has been diagnosed with cancer, is so exhausted, can't do all of the things that they need to do to just get through the day? And this episode was very emotional, I have to say. There's a lot of emotion in every single episode, and part of that is just the inspiring nature of it. I get it. This is a really dark, scary time for people, but the whole point of this is to remove the fear of cancer. If this is something so many of us are going to face, let's remove the fear. And obviously, as a journalist, I would say it's through factual information that you take the veil off and say, here's what I need to know. And that episode with Rachel and her best friend, Tennille, was like a roadmap for, first of all, just being a great friend, but also, what do you need? I'm not going to wait for you to tell me. I've got a house cleaner booked for you. I've got a car booked that's going to take you to Princess Margaret for your treatment. All of these really, you know, nuts and bolts things that you need to do to get through it. And oh, they are an amazing pair. Tennille is hilarious, first of all. She's managed to make her cancer diagnosis, if you can believe it, there's a lot of comedy in there. And I think that's kind of, like, as journalists, you get what I mean. There's almost a way to get through the tough times, humor is part of it. And so there's
If you
a
don't
lot
laugh,
of that.
you cry, kind of.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we did a little bit of both.
Well,
but-
it looks like, I mean, I can even see it now when you speak of it. I mean, it was an
boy.
emotional conversation. And I think that one in particular is such an important one because, you know, there's this instinct to potentially retreat from people because you don't know what to say. You don't know what to do. And
That's
so then there's some isolation that starts to happen. So I feel like this conversation in particular is so powerful.
But through all of them, I learned so much. For example, one young woman, Atusa Rashid, who's like really sadly part of what the biggest crisis in cancer is right now, which is young people between 18 and 49 being diagnosed. So she speaks to the fact that nobody in her friend group, nobody knew what to say to her. She felt like she wasn't getting phone calls to go out at night because everyone was, oh, she's unwell.
Cancer, I'm treating her like a patient.
Oh,
Yeah.
anyway, so I learned so much from her. She was fabulous. And also early detection.
Early detection is so important. Lisa, our time is not our friend. You are amazing. The Carry the Fire campaign, the podcast, carrythefire.ca. It is an amazing cause. Check it out online. Lisa LaFlamme, everyone in studio. We're going to take a break. More BT coming up.
Thank you
after
so
this.
much.
God bless you.